Hi, kindergarten. I have a little writing lesson for you today. And I'm going to talk to you about opinion writing and persuasive writing, and how opinion writing is about stating your opinion, right? But persuasive writing goes the next step and tries to convince other people to see something the way you see it. So, for example, I wrote this writing about my ice cream, and it's a really good opinion writing, but it could be better. And then I could also make it even better by making it persuasive and convincing my reader to think like I do. So I'm going to read it to you, and I want you to think of ways that it could be better. What else could I add? Could I say something differently? Think about those for a moment. Okay, I'm going to read it to you. I like chocolate ice cream. It is the best. All right. So in opinion writing, let's look at our checklist. All right. It says, clearly tells my opinion about the topic. Okay. My opinion is that chocolate ice cream is the best. Did I say that? Yeah, I said I liked it and it's the best. So I think I definitely did that. I'm going to check that one off. Do it a little darker. Okay. And then the next thing says that I should give reasons to explain my opinion. Did I give any reasons about why it's the best? Or why I like it? No, I just said I liked it. It's the best. And then a concluding sentence. So something to kind of bring it all together, to really inspire my reader to go out and do what I want them to do or believe in what I want them to believe. Okay. And then the second half of the checklist, you see how I put a line across it? Because there's kind of two things you do with your writing. One is what you're writing about and your words and what you're telling your reader. And that's the top part here. The bottom part is things that you always do when you write. Even if you're writing a story about unicorns, you would still make sure you do these things. So I'm just going to review them with you quickly before I go back to focusing on the top. So here it says, I spelled new words by writing the sounds I hear. You can always look at the ear to remember that. If you can't read that, that's okay. You can look down at your checklist and look at the pictures to help remember what you're supposed to be doing. So the ear means, right, you're hearing the sounds when you're stretching words like best, best. Okay, the b it starts with a B. I gotta write down the B. Be. Oh, I hear the and then best, st. So you stretch your words to hear those sounds and write them down. The next one is I spelled words I know correctly. So these are usually sight words that you've memorized already. And if you know them, you should always go back to those. Now, the other thing you can do is you all took home your sight word chart. And I'll send you another copy of this, and you guys can print it out if you don't have one. Or you can make one of your own at home the way you want to do it. So on here, it has a lot of the sight words we learned in class, and a couple that I wanted you to learn. For example, family and because. We didn't really learn in class all the way yet. We haven't memorized them together, but they're ones that we should start to learn. So that's why I put them on my sight word chart, because you should learn them, and you guys can have a parent or a sibling write it down for you. And then as you're writing, you should say, oh, I want to use that word because. And then you find it on your sight word and copy it down, and that'll help you learn it. Okay. So that's your sight word chart. Can you use that to help you with this one? I used capital letters to start sentences for the word I and for names and dates. Let's see. Did I have any names in here? No. Like a place or a person? No. Did I use I? Yeah. And I made it a big I. And then did I have any dates in here? No. I wasn't saying like Monday or something. Or July, So the only thing is that did I start my sentence with a capital? Okay, I have two sentences. You see my periods? So the first sentence, I like chocolate ice cream. Did I start it with a capital? Yes. I'm doing one of these. Yes. And then it is the best. Did I start it with a capital? Yes. All right. So, and I spelled like and is and the. Those are my sight words. I spelled those correctly. So I'm going to mark those off. Okay, the last one is, did I use ending punctuation and commas correctly? Didn't need any commas in here. I used two periods, and that's great. If I want to, I could use an exclamation point for it's the best. Maybe I'll change that one. All right, now I have that, so I'm going to cross that out. All right, so reviewing my work, I did a really great job here. Look, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the things in my checklist, but I didn't do these 2. And as a writer, after you finish your writing, it's best to look over your checklist, see what you missed, and then go back and edit. That's what every writer does when they write. Now, you don't have to do it the same day. You could look at it this next day and sit down and do some editing and then reread it and make it beautiful. Okay? So keep that handy, and that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to add some reasons. Now, I wanted to show you someone else's writing. This is a boy named Luke, and that'll help us think about reasons and what a reason is and how I could use a reason to make my writing better. Okay, this is a letter that Luke wrote to his mom. It says, "Dear Mom, I think that you should change my bedtime. I have to go to bed at 7:30. That is too early. I should be able to stay up until 8 o'clock. You should change my bedtime. Love, Luke." All right, did he state his opinion clearly? Yeah, what does he want? Yeah, he wants a later bedtime. He wants to be at 8 o'clock. He was very specific, which I really liked. Now, did he do a concluding sentence? You should change my bedtime. Yeah, he told the person, right, that he's trying to convince. He told them exactly what he wants and how they should do it. So that was really good. So he has these 2, right? I'm going to start marking this one up. So he has this one, and he has this one. I'm just going to hide the other ones because it's a lot to see. So we're really going to just focus on the top now for the rest of the lesson, okay? So he's missing this one as well, reasons, okay? Now I'm going to show you after he edited his work. Now I'm going to show you his new letter. And I want you guys to see if you can pull out the reasons that he used. Dear Mom, I think that you should change my bedtime. I have to go to bed at 7:30. That's too early. I should be able to stay up until 8 o'clock. Then I could spend more time reading, which would make me smarter. Plus, sometimes it's still light outside at 7:30. I can't sleep anyways, so I might as well stay up. These are the reasons why you should change my bedtime. All right, friends. He had a longer letter there, and I could tell that a lot of it was the same. Okay, I'm going to highlight the parts or underline the parts that were the same, the parts that he did not change. So, actually, I'm going to just cross them out, sweeties. So, he kept all of this the same, right? I should be able to stay up until 8. Okay. And then at the end, he said, you should change my bedtime. But all of this section is new. All of this in the center here. Wow. Okay. Let's see some of the things that he did. Okay. So he said, then I could spend more time reading, which would make me smarter. So that's a really good reason, right? This is what he could be doing instead. And this is why it's awesome. So a reason is when you say why. And he said it would make him smarter if he had a later bedtime. And then he explained why. How would it make him smarter? This is what he would use the time for. All right, so that's a really good reason and an explanation too. And then in the second sentence here, it says, plus, sometimes it's still light outside at 7:30. I can't sleep anyway, so I might as well stay up. So he says there's a problem, right? It's still light outside at 7:30, right? And so he's saying, I can't sleep anyways, so I might as well stay up. So if he's trying to go to bed, right, it doesn't make sense for him to sleep when he can't sleep. Yeah. So he might as well be productive with reading. So he gave 2 really good reasons. So you can even do that because your goal is going to be to give 3 reasons. Go 1, 2. So he still has room for improvement. He could do 1 more reason. But he made his writing amazing. He has such good reasons. And I really like how he added to his conclusion. He restates, these are the reasons why you should change my bedtime. He didn't just say, you should change it. Right? He's being kinder with his language. And I know when people talk to me with kindness in their words, it makes me much more feel better towards them. And I would want to listen to what they have to say and really think about it. But if someone comes after me and says, you should do this, I immediately am like, oh, why are you yelling at me? You're intense right now. Let's just calm down. And I can't even think about what they're saying, right? So always make sure your writing sounds kind, just like how you'd want it to say when you're speaking it. Okay, you want it to sound that same tone. Okay, so think about the words you're choosing. All right, speaking of, right, I was writing about ice cream. And my job, right, is to try to convince people that chocolate is the best. Okay, so I didn't have reasons yet, and I didn't have a conclusion. So I need to make sure that I do those. Okay, so what's a good reason? Why is chocolate the best? Ooh. Okay. Okay. It tastes like a, and I'm gonna go to the next page. It tastes like a cold, smooth candy bar. Because chocolate, I love, my favorite types of candy have chocolate in them. And so chocolate ice cream, right, has the same type of flavor as a candy bar, but instead it comes in this really cold, smooth way. And the reason that's awesome too is because I can say, I like how it cools me down. Okay, so I gave 2 reason explanations so far, right? First, I give the reason. It tastes like a cold, smooth candy bar. That's why I like it. That's the reason I like it. And then I explained it. I like how it cools me down. So that's 2 things so far. These can be reasons or explanations, okay? Because both of those explain why you have that opinion, okay? All right, now I gotta think of one more because I have 2. Okay, one more. Challenge. I gotta take the challenge, friends. It tastes more flavorful than vanilla. So sometimes comparing something you're doing to something else will strengthen your argument, right? Because someone might be saying as they're reading this, they're like, oh, I like chocolate ice cream. Well, I like vanilla. It's the best. No, vanilla's the best. It tastes like a cold, smooth candy bar. Well, so does vanilla, right? Candy bars are sweet. Vanilla is sweet. And the vanilla ice cream is also cold and smooth. And it also cools me down. So why can't vanilla be the best? And then I gave that final reason to really push my reason, right? It tastes more flavorful than vanilla. Because I think chocolate has this like deep flavor to it. And it's sweet, but then it's also like that malty kind of taste. And it's just, there's nothing. Oh, so good, right? So I compared it to another flavor to show why I think it's better than that flavor. Okay. All right, I gave my 3rd reason. So now I have that done. And now I need to write a concluding sentence. Okay. So the ending, what do I want to leave my reader with at the end of my writing so that they go and taste chocolate and are like, yes, this is the best ice cream. Be sure to get it in a cone so you can lick it all up. I love the flavor of ice cream when I get to use my tongue on it, right? And like take the, you know, that ability to take your tongue and just go all the way around the cone. And then when it starts to like melt in little bits and you get to lick it off, that like meltiness with the solidness of what's still there, there's just nothing better. And I think that's the best way to enjoy chocolate ice cream. So I gave a little tip at the end to kind of end it in a fun way and to leave them in this way that really wants them to go and get some. Be sure to get it in a cone so you can lick it all up. Doesn't that make you want some right now? Oh, delicious. Now, friends, in your, I gave you a little prompt this week to work on. That's actually not about ice cream. That was your thing last week. But this week, I want you to do something about the earth. So we learned a little bit about the earth and how we want to keep it healthy, right, in lots of different ways. And I wanted you to choose a way that we can keep our earth healthy. So you could choose lots of different things, but your goal is to give 3 reasons why we should do it and explain to whoever you're trying to convince, right? So think you have it, right? Maybe you decide that you really want to convince someone to, here's an example, to save water, right? If you really want someone to save water, you have to convince them, right? Why? I like long showers. They feel good and I feel so clean and my muscles feel so nice afterwards. I can't save water. I need that. Right? So think about this person doesn't want to do what you're asking. So that's why you need those reasons to convince them. That's what a persuasive writing is all about. Okay? So really try to think what would change their mind. Maybe they don't know some things. Maybe they don't know what they're doing when they're wasting that water, right? They don't even think they're wasting it. So explain why. Why do we need to save water and how can I do it? Another one you could do is talk about pollution, right? Polluting the land, maybe with trash, polluting the water. Oh, I bet you know how we can do that. And then the air. How do we pollute the air? And why is it so much better right now? Okay. You could maybe choose to say that, hey, Earth Day is not the only day you should plant a tree and the only day you should ride a bike instead of drive, right? We should celebrate Earth Day every day. So that's another option maybe you want to do. Maybe you want to convince someone that they should be saving energy. What does that mean? Like light switches. It usually means electricity. How can we save and not use as much? Okay. Maybe you want to convince someone to follow the 3 R's we learned about, right? They should reduce, they should reuse, and they should recycle. And why? Tell them why. The whys. Okay. This one says respect the natural world. So a lot of you might be doing that by really taking the time to go out, take nature walks, embrace the flowers, right? And maybe you're improving your environment too by planting trees or respecting your plants more, not trampling them, letting them grow. Okay, there's lots of different things you can do. So I hope you choose one of those or one of your own choosing in how you want to convince someone to keep the earth healthy. Remember to use what I call important words, convincing words. So one of those convincing words you should use is because. Okay? You should do this. Isn't a way to convince someone, right? You can start with that. You should. And now parents, if you're watching, or you can tell them if they're not, okay? They can write out these sentences for you, or you can just pause the video on them while you're writing. And you can copy these. These are called sentence frames, remember? Okay? And so anytime you see a line, that's where you're filling in the words. But you can copy my words if you want to. So I said, you should blank because blank. So you should save energy because it will help our earth. Now, then you have to tell them the reasons, right? List them. Say, first, it will keep us from harvesting all of the stuff from the earth and leaving it bare, right? We should save water so we don't run out of water to drink, right? So you should save water because we won't have any to drink if we use it all up, okay? So give those reasons there. Okay, the other sentence frame is it will help by, and then you can do an and even and do your next reason as a, you can put two sentences and on two reasons in one sentence, or you can leave out the and just leave it at that and have a period here. Okay. So this would be a reason sentence. It will help by, right? If you don't litter, right? Plastic won't get in the ocean. Or if you don't put plastic in the landfill, like you stop using straws, for example, it will help so that animals don't eat plastic, right? So you can have so, or you can have by there, and you'll come up with some great sentences that way. Okay? All right, I'm excited to read your writing, friends, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.